Hello, everyone. Today we're taking a look at the influence of radical ideologies within the U.S. political system, with the help of the book, The Enemies Within, Communists, Socialists, and Progressives in the U.S. Congress, by Trevor Loudon. Now, before we jump in, let's set the stage. This book is not just a dry analysis of political ideologies. It's a wake-up call, a detailed account of how Loudon perceives the infiltration of communist, socialist, and progressive ideologies into the very heart of American democracy. Whether you agree or disagree with his perspective, the narrative he presents is both compelling and controversial. Loudon kicks off the book with a powerful warning. The United States is one of the last bastions of freedom, in a world increasingly influenced by authoritarian regimes. He argues that America's economic and military might are crucial for global stability, and that any weakening of the U.S. would create a power vacuum that would be filled by an alliance of communist and authoritarian nations like China, Russia, and Iran. Loudon paints a vivid picture of a potential future where these nations dominate the globe and urges Americans to recognize the threat posed by internal enemies who, he warns, are systematically undermining the country's constitutional foundations. He believes that these enemies within are not just a threat to America, but to the entire free world. Now, let's delve into the core of the book. Loudon dedicates a significant portion to detailing the influence of communism within the U.S. Congress. He argues many communist and socialist organizations have been working tirelessly to infiltrate and manipulate the Democratic Party for decades. He cites examples like the Cesar Chavez holiday campaign, which he claims was orchestrated by the Communist Party USA to gain influence within the Latino community and the Democratic Party. According to Loudon, the campaign's leader, Evelina Alarcón, was a prominent member of the Communist Party, and the campaign itself was a strategic move to build the party's influence. Loudon also discusses the case of Latino immigrants, whom he claims are being used as a tool by the left to create a governing coalition that would ensure Democratic dominance for decades to come. He highlights the work of figures like Bert Corona and Eliseo Medina, Mexican-American labor leaders, and key figures in the effort to mobilize Latino voters and push for policies that align with communist ideologies. But it's not just communism that Loudon is concerned about. He also delves into the influence of socialists and progressives within Congress. He argues that organizations like the Democratic Socialists of America and the Institute for Policy Studies have been instrumental in pushing the Democratic Party further to the left. Loudon provides examples like the Campaign for Socialized Medicine, which he claims is a top priority for DSA. He cites the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, as a classic example of a socialist policy being implemented with the help of DSA and other leftist organizations. He suggests that figures like Quentin Young, a longtime DSA member and personal physician to Barack Obama, played a crucial role in shaping the healthcare reform. Loudon also examines the role of caucuses within Congress, particularly the Congressional Progressive Caucus, which he describes as the socialist heart of the Democratic Party. He argues that the CPC, with its close ties to organizations like the DSA and IPS, has been a driving force behind many progressive policies. He highlights the influence of figures like Senator Bernie Sanders, who founded the CPC, and other members who have been linked to socialist and communist organizations. Loudon suggests that these caucuses are not just forums for discussion, but powerful blocs that can sway legislation and influence the direction of the Democratic Party. In the realm of foreign policy and national security, Loudon raises concerns about the influence of radical ideologies. He discusses the World Peace Council, the Socialist International, and other organizations that he claims are fronts for communist and socialist agendas. He argues that these groups have been working to influence U.S. policy in ways that benefit their causes, often at the expense of American interests. Loudon provides examples like the Council for a Livable World, which he describes as a pro-disarmament organization with ties to socialist and communist groups. He suggests that this council has been instrumental in pushing for policies that weaken the U.S. military and undermine its national security. Throughout the book, Loudon weaves in the personal stories of individuals who he believes are part of this enemy within. From congressmen and senators to grassroots activists and union leaders, he paints a picture of a network of individuals and organizations working towards a common goal: the transformation of America into a socialist state. He shares anecdotes about figures like Representative Raul Grijalva, who he claims has a long history with the Arizona Communist Party, and former Senator Kyrsten Sinema, who he links to communist causes through her involvement with organizations like the Arizona Alliance for Peace and Justice. These stories add a human element to the narrative, making the book both engaging and thought-provoking. In conclusion, The Enemies Within is a provocative book that challenges readers to reconsider their understanding of the forces shaping American politics. Whether you agree with Loudon's perspective or not, his work raises important questions about the influence of radical ideologies within the U.S. Congress and the potential impact on the nation's future. As we wrap up, I encourage you to think critically about the information presented and to explore the book for yourself. It's a complex and multifaceted topic, and there's much more to discuss. But for now, thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with others who might be interested. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and stay curious. This has been a BrightLearn video from BrightLearn.ai on the book, The Enemies Within: Communists, Socialists, and Progressives in the U.S. Congress by Trevor Loudon. Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.